Hello, everybody. Welcome to Storytime from the Milledgeville Public Library of Illinois. The story that we have for you today comes from Australia, and it is a story about a very wise animal and some rather foolish hunters. Once, back in the Dreamtime, there was a googarh, a goanna, and he was lying on a rock sunning himself, enjoying the warm sun. He was a rather old googarh, so he was a very clever googarh. And he had spotted 4 mundurras, 4 hunters, creeping towards him through the brush with their clubs upraised. Now he knew that he was far too old to run away from the mundurras. He would never work. And so the googarh just sat there sunning himself. And when the mundurras got very close, suddenly he jumped up and he ran in a circle, waving his legs about as he ran. Well, the mundurras were very surprised. They had never seen a googarh do something like this before. And when he finished running in a circle, he stopped. And then he ran the other way, waving his arms about. Well, the mundurras were so surprised that they stood up. They weren't hiding any longer. And they said, "Googarh, what are you doing?" And he said, "I am dancing. Can't you see?" And they said, "Well, stop doing that. We want to kill you and eat you." And the googarh said, "Well, I do not think that is very nice, but it is the way of things. If this is to be my last dance, will you promise me that you will not kill me until I am done dancing? I do so like dancing." Well, the mundurras talked amongst themselves, and they were not so sure about this idea. But eventually they decided that yes, they could be kind to the googarh, and they would let him finish his dance. And so they told the googarh that they would wait to kill him and eat him until he was finished with his dance. And so the googarh began to dance, running about all over the ground, waving his legs, jumping up in the air, turning around very quickly, turning around very slowly. And he continued to dance and dance and dance. And finally the mundurras said, "The sun is beginning to go down, googarh. When are you going to be done dancing? We have been waiting for hours." And the googarh said, "Oh, but my dance finishes when the sun rises, and that will be tomorrow." Well, the mundurras were not very happy to hear that. They had not been planning on waiting until tomorrow to eat. But they had promised to wait until the googarh was done with his dance. So they talked amongst themselves again, and they decided that instead of making one big camp with a big fire and all their little tents, they would each make a separate camp, because if they made one big camp, then the googarh could run off into the darkness. But if they made 4 separate camps, so they could surround the googarh and he would never be able to get away from them. And so they did. They made 4 separate little camps around the dancing googarh. Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but when I've been waiting for something to happen for a very long time, and the sun goes down, and I'm sitting next to a nice warm fire, I get rather tired and sleepy. And that's exactly what happened to the mundurras. As they sat by their little fires, they began to grow very warm and very comfortable and very drowsy. And one by one, by one, by one, they fell asleep. Well, the wily old googarh, he did not wish to disturb their sleep, and so he decided that it would be best if he stopped dancing now, and he shuffled quietly away. And that is the tale of the wily old googarh and the mundurras from Australia. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll come back and join us again on Friday at 3 p.m. Central Time. We will have another world folklore fairy story for you from somewhere around the world. I hope you have a good day. We'll see you then. Bye.